Okay, so far on the other side we've seen the refining shop, and over here we got a small sample of the blacksmith shop, and that's the actual opening to the mine shaft itself that I just showed, and that is the shaft head where they ran all the miners and supplies and equipment and ore up and down the shaft itself. Just incredible. Nicely preserved site here. So we're going to move on to the next building, and we're going to walk around a little bit. And up on the hillside they got a bunch of mining equipment, so we're going to check it out a little bit more, so stick with me. Yeah, we're going to go down and take another close look at this stamp mill down here. It's pretty great. You know, you don't get to see too many of these stamp mills here in California because most of them are just falling apart, state of disrepair. There's one up in Placerville. I showed it in an earlier video. And this is a baby one from what he's saying. It's pretty cool. And he's saying that 80 of these were going at any given time, 24 hours a day. And they could hear the noise 3 miles away. That is just massive. Man, I bet that made a lot of noise. Alright, let's take a look at that landing down there and where they had the other ones gone. We'll take a look around the park a little bit more. So stick with me. Okay, here's a closer look at this the stamp mill site. Well, they sure did strip this thing down for salvage, didn't they? Nice big old truck up there. That thing's, it's got to be at least 1940, 1950, somewhere around there. Yep, not too much left of it. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, now we're actually up on the higher side where most of the main buildings are, you know, that weren't, you know, directly connected to the mining operations itself. It's kind of like a little park that, you know, the owners of the mine and officials would sit there and use. And it's actually a pretty lush little garden. They got paths that wander all throughout it, and little buildings and other things that you can look at. So we'll go up to the cottage and see what there is to see. So let's go. Okay, right now we're in the garden area just below the cottage. And for this time and age, it was a pretty stately place. And as you can see, it's pretty well nice. It must have been just as nice or better. And this is a reflection pond that they built in here. And it's just absolutely pretty. Excellent place to go for a little day trip. You can see they have a real neat architectural design going all the way up to the main steps of the cottage up above. And now we can just walk on up here and take a look around. And this is all the way up in the hills, folks. And during this time in the age, it was all hush and buggy and everything else. And later on got more mechanized, but this is pretty stately for a place up here. You couldn't get any better than this unless you went down to San Francisco or down to Sacramento. It's unusual. Just beautiful around here. Alright, let's go walk up around the cottage. Well, we didn't exactly get to go inside, so they closed up before we had a chance, which is kind of a bummer. But we're going to go down here and take a look around. So the courtyard down here and the gardens. It's pretty nice. And let's keep going. Pretty cool. Alright, let's move on. Okay, I just wanted to end this video this way instead of the way I did. And couldn't pass this up because I was going through the shop and looking around, and believe it or not, they got some nice samples of gold here. Just incredible. That is just beautiful. Well, it looks like that's a little bit more gold than most of you guys seen in a long time, so hope you enjoyed. Alright folks, thanks for watching my videos. Alright.